To understand what I'm about to tell you, you need to do something first. You need to believe in the impossible. Can you do that?
What do you desire that you can't have?
Now you should at least give a brother a moment to say something heroically clever.
You're the boy from the circus.
So I have to sing with rolls?
There's about a dozen ways that I could stop you right now. But I don't think I have to.
The staff chose me, and I choose you.
I started up a security firm.
Finally, a superhero team I can actually get behind.
In the future, my friends may not be heroes, but if we succeed, they will be remembered as legends.
Welcome to the DC TV report for the week ending Saturday, December 26th, 2020. I'm Little Eddie O'Hare, aspiring professional fanboy.
And I'm Sarah Netzley, academic by day, writer by night.
We're here to bring you recaps, news, and commentary for all live-action television shows based on DC Comics.
And we have one new episode this week.
Yes, one new episode. One new episode. We're recording the day after Christmas. Hope everyone had a happy Christmas. And be on the lookout in this feed because we will also have a movie report on Wonder Woman 1984. That's why we don't have a retro pick this week.
Yeah, it was a busy week for us.
Yes, it was. Sarah, are you having fun?
Yeah. Look, Christmas was weird this year. I feel like a lot of people can say that. It was extra weird for us. It involved a broken furnace and then a neighborhood-wide power outage and a short stay at a hotel because it was very cold in my house and it threw off all my viewing and present opening. And I didn't get to cook our Christmas ham. Like and it was weird. It was weird this year. But it's okay. It was good. You know what? We're healthy. We're here. Got to FaceTime and talk, text, and call all the people I love. So it was. How was yours? I'm gonna stop saying words now.
Yeah. Basically, every gathering that I thought I was going to go to either became complicated or canceled. So I ended up going to the movies and then spending the evening at my parents' house. Having dinner cooked at three different places, three different locations, very late at night, and then watching Christmas movies and Star Trek Discovery. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
God bless us, everyone.
All right. So yeah, and this is the last episode that we will be recording in the year 2020. So yeah, looking back, this was quite a year. This was very challenging, not just for all the obvious reasons. But I think, this is this is quite a challenging year. And here's, fingers crossed, knock on wood, hoping that next year can be safer and more exciting.
Okay, you just jinxed us.
All right. I don't know.
What I will say is 2020, we are watching you. We have our eyes on you. Don't mess this up. Okay, we got a lot riding on this.
Okay.
If I'm not hugging strangers by the summer, I don't even know what. So that, just 2021. Yeah. Get it together.
Yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun. Or even just hugging friends,
Just hugging my mom. That'd be great.
Yeah. Driving 2 states over, to say hi to somebody, that would be.
Let's not get carried away. Have you been to Ohio?
So yeah. Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you all for your support. We really appreciate everything. with the listens, your ratings and reviews on Apple Podcasts. That helps people find us. If you want to be extra helpful, we are part of Wicked Theory Studios, which does have a Patreon, patreon.com/Wicked Theory. And that just helps us keep the lights on, basic overhead bandwidth, etc. There is a bonus podcast there called Ed Bonds with Bill, that you can listen to, where Bill Sweeney and I watch James Bond movies. We've actually run out of James Bond movies. We're waiting for No Time to Die to come out, which at this point they're telling us April, but who knows. So we're watching James Bond wannabes, and we just watched Our Man Flint from 1966, starring James Coburn as the insufferable Derek Flint. Um, so yeah, if you really want to understand, that's a lot of where all the stuff that's all the stuff in Austin Powers that's not James Bond probably came from the Flint movies. So it's an interesting time capsule.
Hmm.
So yeah, Sarah, I think we've had enough sobbing and moaning. You ready to dive into this week's episode?
Where there's a lot more sobbing and moaning, yes.
Yes. All right. So so the episode we're covering today is Pennyworth, Season 2, Episode 2, The Burning Bridge. Just as Alfred had enough scratch to leave town, a handful of lunkheads snatched his mum and held her for ransom. Bet dragged the handcuffed Katie Browning around an abandoned neighborhood, trying to phone for help. Acting on orders, Thomas asked Aleister Crowley for help embroiling outspoken peacenik and League leader Archbishop Potter in an embarrassing scandal. Last-minute reveal, the Archbishop told Crowley he wanted to learn more about the devil.
Look, if it's the Queen, I'm not here. I love that they're just going to shoehorn that into every episode. Okay, Ed, there is so much happening. There's so much happening in this episode. And we have 2 more episodes, and then it's gone again until March, right?
Did they say March? I think that, they've just said it's gone again.
Oh, you know what? I saw sketchy reporting online that doesn't merit actual reporting on it that said March. So sometime in 20. My point is, they're asking me to do a lot of mental work here to keep track of all the players and who's doing what and why and motivations, and then they're going to be gone forever, and it's too much. There's too many people. There's too many spinning wheels for not enough real estate in the calendar right now. That's all.
Well, just know everyone's unhappy. That's really the important thing to take away from this episode.
That's true. And Lord Harwood still got that nose, so.
Yeah. I didn't mention it. There was one brief moment where Francis Gaunt was informed by Lord Harwood and Colonel Salt what Stormcloud is going to be, and she seemed to get all queasy about it.
As broads do.
Yes. Well, yeah, and thinking about it more, Stormcloud seems to be, I wonder if it's kind of like the predecessor to the Joker's laughing gas. Because I was thinking about how Colonel Salt wanted the faces to be pleasant.
Oh, no, that's interesting. Because I was going to say, in the introduction we talk about, it's live action DC comics shows. This is not. Is there any comics basis for any of this?
No, not really.
So this is the one that really feels like the most stretched, and yet you just did a good job of being like, but no, it is kind of. So thank you for that.
Yeah. I mean, really, the most that we knew about Alfred was that he was a field medic in a war, and that he'd been in a repertory Shakespeare company, and that was really his background before taking up his father's post as butler for the Waynes. So everything else in this series is completely whole cloth, brand new.
And they're making the best of it. I mean, they're really going for it.
Yeah, yeah. And I think Danny Cannon's doing an excellent job. Um, Speaking of which, the it's interesting. He finally gets enough money. He's all set to go. He tells the boys to get packed. Of course, his mom, of course, Mrs. Pennyworth, does not want to leave town. Just feels so dejected and depressed. You feel really bad for her. And then here's the real question: who ordered that kidnapping?
Who ordered the kidnapping? Where'd that money end up?
Yeah. Where did that money go? Um,
Also, I do think Mrs. Pennyworth probably should go to America. I mean,
mhm.
everybody's talking about there's that mite that killed his dad. Get to America. Unpack all that baggage in America. It's gonna be better.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And maybe not California. Maybe someplace a little bit more low key. But um, still, yeah, I think she'd have a much better time in America than she thinks. Um, it's also interesting to see, how sometimes news and propaganda uh, can sort of shape your view of another country. Just kind of like with the way she talks about what she's seeing on television in America does not seem like such a nice place. Um, I remember my father. I remember going to a barbecue when I was a kid at a friend of my dad's from the army, and his father, uh, this person's father, had been a Holocaust survivor in Germany, and talked about that when he was a kid, all that they'd seen of America was pictures of people in Indian headdresses.
Huh.
Um, and that was their idea of what an American was, that they were just savage natives. Um, which it just shows you kind of like the power of propaganda.
Yeah.
Um, but
Well,
seeing a different version of that here.
yeah. I mean, we got those bears. Those bears will just eat you right up. So
Now, so Sarah, how long until Thomas Wayne quits his job?
soon, I hope. I feel like chipper PR lady. That doesn't seem like it's going to rub well with Thomas Wayne. So hopefully, I mean, he's gotta we gotta develop more of this engagement thing so Martha can have more angst, and then
Mhm.
gotta throw those two together. So we got chop chop on that.
Yeah, and interesting to see how, like, when you've got to embroil a bishop in a scandal, even though he clearly does not like Crowley, knows that he's the person for this job, and that I was surprised that he would be willing to go to that guy. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and that last scene, where he poses as a vagrant, I guess, and asked the archbishop for help. It was really creepy.
Yes. Concur.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And let's talk about Bet and Katie.
Bet remaining wildly scarily unpredictable. At least she's predictably unpredictable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
she
she.
murderated those dudes while wearing high heels, which is very impressive.
Yeah. It's at a certain point, Katie's got to come to the listen. This person may be scary, but she's the only reason I'm alive right now. Um, and I'm sort of surprised that she hasn't come to that conclusion yet. Uh, Also, Bet running out of resources. Lord Hardwood won't talk to her, and she can't get through to her sister. So we're really seeing her uh, at the point of desperation. Um, Yeah, yeah. I do hope in the next 2 episodes she gets to meet up with Alfred, and um because I think that could be an explosive team up.
Yeah. Um I do think so too, and I hope they have some payoff for Katie here. Like, why
Mhm.
are we dragging her around?
Yeah,
So,
and yeah, I also don't believe that she's an art student. I think Bet was actually onto something.
That
And
would be fun if she drops that whole "I'm not a terrorist" thing and just
mhm,
also straight up starts being heroically
yeah.
awesome. So we'll see.
All right, all right. Is there anything else you think we need to cover, or
Let's see. Sandra's earrings are fabulous, but dang, he needs to either be honest with her or break up with her.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm half surprised. Like, it looked like he was going to ask her to come with him in that moment, and then the fact that she was so excited for the audition. But he does need
Yeah.
to let her know what's going on.
I think so too, and I'm glad she's excited, but I don't know. Perhaps this is not a positive thing about my character. I don't know. If you have a chance to go to America and leave behind the whole Raven Society badness, take your girlfriend, like whisk her out of there. Like, obviously he's gonna have to stay and fight for England, right? Like, that's,
Hmm.
you can't. But
Yeah.
take your girlfriend.
Hmm.
Take her with you.
Uh,
No, that's it. And
mhm.
and Crowley and it's so many things, Ed. There's so many things happening.
Yeah. All right, all right. Cool, cool. So that's it for Pennyworth. And next week, we're getting a two banger. We're getting a 2-part mid season finale. Which is why we also won't have a retro pick next week. So
And I will be
you know,
curious if we have a big cliffhanger or if we have some kind of mini resolution or if that's just the episodes they got done around COVID stuff. And so that's where we're stopping. I'm excited to see how they wrap up this 4-episode stretch.
all right, all right. So yeah, so now we're on to news for the shows.
Yeah, so this is going to be zippy because it was Christmas week, so not a lot of press releases flying around. But let's start with Black Lightning. Chantal Tui has been promoted to series regular, and it's about time. That means we will see Grace Choi on the reg in Black Lightning's final season, which makes sense because, she done got wifed last season, so we're gonna see more of her.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And well, Black Lightning has had it looks like they've been slowly but surely trying to form the outsiders on this show, and Grace Troy is a member of that team. So yeah, if she's going to be a regular, I hope we get to see her in action.
And I enjoy her powers, so I'm
Mhm.
hoping we also get to see actual stories about her. That'd
Yeah,
be nice.
yeah.
That'd be
Mhm.
nice. The second CW show we have news for this week is Legends of Tomorrow. And that is, we have a little look at what's going to happen in episode 4 of this upcoming season. It will be a Doctor Strangelove homage called Bay of Squids. So that will be exciting. It's going to guest star Nick Bishop, who's been in a billion things I haven't seen: Body of Proof, Truth Be Told, Snowfall, Dominion, Home and Away. So, yeah, precious bodily fluids.
All right, all right, cool.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, fun. Just a good reminder that show is coming back. So, yeah. Let's see, moving on to Titans. This is literally the most important news of the, you know what, I'm going to say it, the month, maybe the year. But Crypto has been recast. It is a rescue dog named Pepsi. That's it. That's the story. Crypto is now being played by a rescue dog named Pepsi, who was on death row when he was fostered and then adopted by a trainer. It all happened just before COVID lockdowns hit, and he was cast on Titans to, I guess, replace the other friendly white dog who they had last season. So look for Pepsi to hit our screens in season 3. Ed, your response to this breaking dog news?
Congratulations. Yay, Crypto. All right.
He looks very similar to the other dog. I don't know if anybody will notice the difference.
Dun,
And then
dun,
last bit of news this
dun.
week is for DMZ.
DMZ.
So we have a first
music.
look at Ava DuVernay's series that's coming to HBO Max, and it is dark and gritty. Benjamin Bratt looks very thin. Rosario Dawson looks fabulous, of course. That's what I got. Ed, what did you think when you saw the goods?
Yeah. I mean, it looks comic accurate. I mean, DMZ is a very gloomy book.
I was gonna say it's not gonna be, of course it's dark, of course.
And yeah. Rosario Dawson, I think one of the best actresses out there. I think she's perfect for that series, for that part. And yeah, Benjamin Bratt. I'm ready now. Like, they should have cut a trailer by now. Like, let's get this moving. Let's see what, because I'm hoping, like, if DMZ does really well, that might open the door for a lot more of the lesser known Vertigo titles to start getting adapted. Stuff like 100 Bullets or Transmetropolitan. There's because that to me is like the biggest vat of just untapped storytelling. Yeah. Ex Machina, that's another one. That's different from the movie that came out a few years ago. That's another.
I was gonna say, I believe.
yeah. That's the one where basically a superhero retires and becomes mayor of a city, and all of the political machinations that are involved with that. Yeah. So, but DMZ's the first shot, and it's just going to be a limited series. So, but yeah, I'm encouraged by this, and I want to see more.
Yeah. I hope it's good. I hope there's an interesting story, and I hope it can be compact and tightly told. And yeah, I'm curious to see how this goes. I just the HBO Max playground is an interesting one, and so far I've liked what I've seen from HBO Max's. I guess they're HBO Max's originals. I mean, I guess Lovecraft was. Do people still get HBO in their homes? I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
yeah. Well, I think this has been kind of the complication with that surface is just because you don't know what's HBO Max, what's and it's had a very rough rollout, but there's a lot. They have like the best library of classic movies, because they have the Turner Library, so basically all the Turner classic stuff is on there, and you have all of HBO's previous library and all of Warner Brothers stuff. You have all the Looney Tunes cartoons. You have Sesame Street if you're into that. There's like so much on there that I feel like they're not really getting out there. Like, it low key actually could be like the best service, and it's also just infuriating that they're doing so much to piss off film goers and filmmakers. So it's going to be interesting to see how this kind of shakes out, and if they can grow a conscience in the next 6 months. Sorry if I'm on a high horse here.
No.
But yeah. DMZ, let's show it already. Cool. And that was it for the news, right?
That's it for the news.
All right, so now it's time for our winners of the week. Sarah, I'll go first.
All right.
And my winner is Alfred. Just for, because like the one positive scene was when he goes to drop off the ransom and says he wants to see his mom first, and then the guy drives away and drives up with somebody. And in that scene, when Alfred turns the tables and just grabs the other guy's gun and shows them to be complete idiots, and just pulls up to Dave Boy and Baza with the gun on the drivers, I thought that was great. That's like, it felt like a very Guy Ritchie type moment, and shows like this is a great there's a great tradition of like British gangster movies that this show is drawing from, in all the craziness that it is. Uh, and yeah. So that's what excited me this week.
That was good. I almost went with his mom, just because, who wouldn't want her son coming after you to save you? But anyway, I'm going with Martha this week, just because, she's shooting out speakers for funsies. She's living her life. She's got moral clarity. She's like, Thomas, who? So, in an episode where everybody was kind of dour and bleak and dark and talking about poison gas and things, I don't know, Martha seems to be doing just fine, and I'm sadder every week because we know where this is going to end up for Martha and Thomas. But for now, Martha's my winner of the week.
All right. So yeah, winners of the week. Sarah, that was really quick,
That
but
was
we did
zippy.
an episode. Yeah, and that's our there's still DC TV left in 2020, but we won't be covering it until 2021. Despite all the setbacks and stuff being cut off, this was a very eventful year. We had the final 2 parts of Crisis on Infinite Earths, and the entire DC multiverse as we know it in comics, in TV and movies, was completely turned upside down. And yeah, we also got Stargirl, which was a lot of fun to follow. And Swamp Thing appeared on the CW. We'll see if that leads anywhere. Yeah, briefly. And yeah. So we've got stuff. And Arrow also ended. Which is a big milestone. And now we find out next year Black Lightning and Supergirl are going to be coming to an end. And we have new shows on the horizon like DMZ and possibly that Green Lantern show on HBO. So yeah, lots to think about, lots to look forward to. Sarah, do you have any parting words for our audience in 2020?
Thanks for sticking with us. Hey, making it to December of this year, give yourself a round of applause. Well done, all of us. We made it. Look at us, we made it. That's it.
All right, and be sure to check out for our DC movie report of Wonder Woman 1984. Thanks so much. We appreciate all of you. That's the DC TV report for this week. You can find us on Twitter. I'm at Little Eddie O'Hare.
And I'm at Sarah Netzley, SaraNetzley.
And follow the show on Twitter at DCTV Report. Send along your emails to dctv@wickedtheory.com. Also, be sure to subscribe to our show on your podcast app of choice and rate and review us. That helps more people find us. Check out our sister show, the Wicked Theory Podcast. This has been a Wicked Theory Studios production. Executive producer, Bill Sweeney. Visit us at wickedtheory.com. Shazam, everybody.
Shazam.
Shazam.